all through the house. It seemed like everything's evident, but where is our president? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. What we got going on here this morning, y'all? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hope y'all had a good weekend. This is about to wrap up. It's brick in New York where I'm at. I'm talking about below zero. And everybody here is like, oh, we're not going outside because it's real out there. Today's supposed to be one of the coldest days of the year, I guess. We're going to be seeing below temperatures averaging at about 16 degrees. So yeah, that's quite chilly. So they're saying also we're going to start seeing we already got our snow flurries yesterday. Got a little frost on top of the cars for the ones that actually stayed put and didn't go anywhere. Central Park looks really nice. So it looks like you guys are going to have your white Christmas after all. But it's just going to be cold. So bundle up and make sure that y'all stay healthy, stay happy, and make sure that y'all enjoy yourselves. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Let's get into it. What we got going on this Sunday morning, y'all? We got, Christmas Nightmare. Sounds kind of bad. And plus, you see, we got our boy Sleepy Joe here at the wheel, as usual. 2 people killed. It's actually went up from here. It says 68 on our thumbnail, but as I checked yesterday, I see it's went up to 200 now injured in the Christmas market attack that happened in Germany. Also, like I said, where is Joe Biden? His legacy seems to be tarnishing as possibly one of the worst presidents that we have ever had. I wanted to know what you guys thought about that because I have my own personal feelings about our current president. I know that you might. So what I would like for you to do at this current moment, besides liking and sharing and subscribing to the channel, let me know what you think about the state of the condition of our current government, as well as what do you think about our current president, Joe Biden. Let me know what you think about it. And without any further ado, let's do it.
Not been very visible. We saw him reading bedtime stories, but the tail end of Joe Biden has not been around the last few weeks. He has not been very visible. We saw him reading bedtime stories, but the tail end of his presidency has been relatively incognito.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the only thing we've really heard from him in the last several weeks is the pardon of his son, which obviously was very unpopular and has created a lot of backlash amongst even his own party. And so, he's leaving his presidency where it feels like he's not even on the playing field, and it's a very sad thing to watch.
So what happens now? You're part of the Democrat machine. What happens next? This is a real time to go to the room of mirrors, take a look and regroup. Of course, 2 years will be pivotal, 4 years even more so.
Again, what do you guys think? I mean, haven't seen too much of him since the pardons. He pardoned 1,500 people since then. He's pardoning more people and calling it like a protection over, what's to come in the next presidency to make sure that the DOJ and the president don't, weaponize against him. How you guys doing? What's going on? What's that? Lake Lee. Hey, what's up? What's up, Lake Lee?
Absolutely. I mean, there's going to have to be a real deep dive and introspection into what happened in the last election. We really lost our entire coalition to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. And now there's a massive power vacuum where we're trying to figure out which wing of the party is going to step in and fill it. And so now they're going to have to decide who takes over the Democratic National Committee, what the agenda is going to be from the top down. And I think we're going to have to think long and hard about who our leadership is going to be and what candidates we want to put forward and how we reconnect with the American people.
It seems to me like they're talking about bringing Kamala back. I don't know if that's a wise decision, guys. What do you guys think about that? Because she didn't do too good at this election. She didn't even primary or anything, and they didn't try to find their best candidate before they put her in play. So they kind of put her in a bad situation. It's almost like now she's been primaried and now we know who she is, and now you're going to be introduced to her all over again. Would you vote for Kamala? Let me know what you guys think. Just want to know. Just want to know. Just want to know. Just want to know what y'all thinking about this morning.
watch, but we're not in power in the White House, the Supreme Court, or in either houses of Congress. And so we've got to really just start over from the beginning.
Yeah, very much so. Now, just looking at a couple of other issues, the House Ethics Committee deciding to release Matt Gaetz' findings.
Yes, I think that ultimately at the end of the day, while Republicans would have loved to sweep that under the rug, and there was obviously a lot of gamesmanship and Donald Trump in trying to prevent that report from coming out, that I think the Republicans decided that they just want to get this monkey off their back. It's not something they want to have to continue to debate going into next year. Matt Gaetz is no longer a member of Congress. And so I think, they'll put it out in the next week or two, right around the holidays when people are paying less attention, and then hope that they can just blow by it and move on.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do too. I'm glad that they said that, so we can look forward to paying attention to see what the report says when it comes down to Matt Gaetz. We can look into that as a subcontext and moving forward. But what do you guys think about the current condition of our government? Do you really feel that we're being represented the right way? Do you feel as if, we're getting what we're supposed to get? Are you happy with the administration? Just want to know. Let me know what y'all think now. Let me know. Let me see what we got going on over here. What else? What life will be like for Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione. Since we know who the person is, we've got him. He's been arrested. He's in federal custody. Not only is Luigi in federal custody right now, right? But he's also in the same prison that P. Diddy is in. So what will life be like for Luigi in the MDC? Same jail, like I said, that P. Diddy is in. And they actually have the same lawyer. Did y'all know that? They got the same lawyer. I didn't know that.
From Ivy League rich kid to inmate number 52503-511. That is Luigi Mangione's new identification inside the walls of Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, commonly known as MDC. The 26-year-old is the latest high-profile inmate at the Federal Detention Center. Former inmates include sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, farmer bro Martin Shkreli, and R. Kelly.
It seems, and I know I want to scroll back to this real quick because these are very high caliber cases here. Every single one of these people, they didn't have good fallouts. I mean, good resolutions and endings with their cases. This guy here, as we know, got years, and he's doing the 30 years right now. R. Kelly, Martin Shkreli, he got tied up. And I don't know exactly how much time he got. Got a lot of time as well. I think about 7 to 8, maybe 15 years. And of course, the aide to Epstein, she, I think, got about 20 years. So can double check all of this time just to make sure I'm giving you the right information. But because I did not go into it to check and see how much time these guys got. But yes, R. Kelly. And I forgot her name. If anybody can, Ghislaine something. What's her name? I forgot her name. But yeah, all of these guys, none good when they went through this system. None of them.
Currently, Sean Diddy Combs is held there on federal charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Mangione and Combs also sharing a lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, who is working on Mangione's case with his wife and lead counsel, Karen.
I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility.
Agnifilo recently argued to move the music mogul before trial because of the conditions at MDC. While the department wouldn't confirm details of any specific inmate, policy shows upon arrival they undergo a 21-day evaluation to determine in what unit they will be held. Because Mangione's case is high profile, it's likely he will be housed in what's called the SHU, a unit where inmates are separated from the general population, largely for safety reasons.
His interactions will be limited. I think the oversight will be far more significant. I think he'll be subject to a lot less dangers.
We are pushing for basic humanity.
In recent years, inmates, attorneys, and activists have sounded the alarm on issues like violence, overcrowding, staffing shortages, even power outages. In September, a federal judge condemned the facility's...
Oh, we got to do this.
He made $453,000 in 1 month doing affiliate marketing. This may sound like
facility's conditions, prompting the Bureau of Prisons to appoint an urgent action team to, quote, take a holistic look at the challenges at MDC Brooklyn.
So it's a big deal. And I think that tells you all you need to know with respect to what's happening. Yeah.
Well, I could be honest with you, all of the prisons, they definitely need some sort of internal reform. They actually need, for some sort of committee, I would say, a committee to go in and check and look at how conditions are inside of these jails, because even though people are in jail, the conditions that we're hearing, it's like subhuman. And we're in a time now where that actually makes no sense, especially when you want to privatize all of the prisons Yeah, like we don't know. Privatize all of the prisons and make money off of the inmates and use them as modern day what? Yeah. And then you don't want to pay them or give them the right sort of jobs when they get out because they have a record. But when they're inside, all of a sudden they can work on computers and do all types of things that require a high caliber salary. But once they come home, you guys don't want to give them that sort of a job. Notice how that wheel keeps on turning?
As for Mangione, a Bureau of Prisons handbook outlines daily life behind bars, including a 6 a.m. wake-up call for breakfast, sweeping and mopping his cell, a new change of clothes 3 days a week, and a chance to shop in the commissary once every 2 weeks, where he can buy candy bars, crossword books, and deodorant. And
from what we know, he's got over $100,000 in donations from various funding and various companies and individuals. So he's definitely got a lot of money when it comes down to that. Plus his family's multimillionaires. Yeah, so he has a pretty prestigious background, schooling as well as education. This definitely was, you know, a mission for Luigi to do what he's doing now. And it seems like he has a lot of support from a lot of people that feel the same way about the health system.
Pennsylvania, more than 150 donations were made to Mangione's commissary account. The Bureau of Prisons won't comment on inmates' accounts. CNN has learned that commissary money that was in Mangione's account in Pennsylvania will be transferred to the Bureau of Prisons for Mangione. Also important to note, his attorneys in court said that they reserve their right to request bail in this case, possibly at a later date. Bringy West, CNN, New York. Join.
So not only that, he's got money. They sending money into his commissary because you can go online, put his name in, and send money to his commissary. So in Pennsylvania, they've got money sitting there for him that they have to transfer to New York. So he's good as far as monetary goes. If that makes any sense to you guys. What else we got here? Federal charges of health care CEO murder suspect. Murder using a firearm, opening the possibility of death penalty. 2 counts of stalking and a firearms offense charge. Mangione may face death penalty with federal murder charge.
Joining us now is prison consultant Sam Mangel. Sam is in touch with members of Mangione's legal team and staff attorneys from that detention center, but has not been retained by the defense. Sam, we wanted to make sure everybody was all...
Yeah, so that's Mangione right there, y'all. Y'all see what's going on with the Mangione case. What we up to now? Oh yeah, we got some situations going on where the FBI is basically telling us that we need to be careful with our phones, our cell phones, our phones. We can't just be using the phones like we normally do. We can't just be picking them up and thinking it's safe, because now we've got people that have hacked into the servers, and the FBI warns Americans to keep text messages secure after Chinese hackers, they hacked some telecom companies. So they're telling us to use Signal or WhatsApp because the hacking crew, and they basically did something where they're listening in on officials like Trump. They've listened in on the Trump and Harris campaigns, as well as much more. How you guys doing today? What's going on? What's going on? Nav, what's good? Chris, if he's with BOK, no one would be saying he's a hero or innocent. He's goofy. All right, Chris, let's keep it moving. I want y'all to know what's going on with the FBI as they are warning us about our phones and what we should be doing to prevent getting hacked.
Massive ongoing Chinese hack of telecom companies that's possibly intercepting phone calls and text messages in the U.S. right now, leading to an unprecedented FBI warning to consumers. The head of Homeland Security calling the threat, in his words, very, very serious.
It's a very sophisticated hack. I can't speak publicly to how it occurred, but the telecom providers are focused intensely on it.
Officials...
He can't speak to what they are concentrated on, but you can tell us that there's a hack. Is this similar to what's going on with those drones? Why you guys are not saying anything about it, but it's happening?
Publicly to how it occurred, but the telecom providers are focused intensely on it.
Officials from the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, and the FBI say Americans need to protect what they say on their phones with encryption. Translation, if you're an iPhone user texting someone on an Android, there's a good chance your messages are unprotected from hackers. The workaround, using end-to-end encryption apps like Signal or WhatsApp. The hack, dubbed Salt Typhoon by Microsoft, the FBI calling it an espionage campaign.
This is the most persistent campaign the United States has ever seen from an advanced hacking crew to break in, and it was a matter of time, really.
The FBI saying China was possibly listening in on calls from Senator Chuck Schumer's office and both the Trump and Harris campaigns. The Chinese government denied the accusation.
Phone phone calls were tapped, text messages were read, voicemails were read, as well as call records.
Verizon said when the hack was revealed, it is, quote, committed to assisting law enforcement in this investigation. AT&T telling NBC News it will, quote, continue to comply with our obligations to notify affected parties. But most people who had call metadata hacked may not even know it because the feds and their phone provider haven't told them, according to government and telecom sources.
Good point. No one told me. I didn't get an alert on my phone saying nothing about this. How to use the phone or go to some app to use something. Why? Because they want to keep us on their apps, because when they send you somewhere else, they don't make the money. So now what I'm doing for you guys is letting you know, you might want to consider downloading WhatsApp, Signal, or using another form of, communication when it comes down to communicating on various topics as far as health, personal issues, and things of that nature, because we don't know what's going on. Out of your element with this one, man. Oh man, here we go. Let's keep going. Whatever.
CISA says senior government officials are among the highly targeted. Assume their communications are at risk of interception. But the FBI warning suggests everyday citizens could be exposed too. The advice is to be aware of when your messages and your calls are safe and when they're not.
When you send an encrypted message to me or vice versa, it goes to the telecom, but it's just gibberish. So they'll see
with iPhone to iPhone messages and Android to Android messages. But when you're messaging between different types of phones, encrypting is now recommended.
if we all use encrypted apps, does that mean that we're totally good from perhaps the scale of the Chinese one? As it stands right now, your messages are believed to be safe according to every cryptographer I've ever spoken to.
So how are we supposed to know what kind of phone someone else is using? I mean, I just learned how to find out who has an Android and who has an iPhone, like who I'm sending to, and that's like a status thing. Bubbles, the different way the bubbles come up, so you're texting someone on an Android. But now we've got a lot more different platforms. We've got Google, we've got the Android, we've got so many different platforms right now that we're emailing, texting, and into. It's really hard to distinguish what platform the other user may be working on. So that's kind of hard right there.
Brian Chung joining us now. I mean, believed to be safe, honest.
Yeah, so I think that's about enough on that one. That's about enough on that. That's about. So now, where we at with it? Okay, something very, very important that I wanted to bring to you guys. It came in late last night, so I wasn't able to queue it up. I had to make sure I get some information on it. There's been a situation that went on in Germany where officials say a suspect who is a Saudi Arabian doctor, and he's lived in Germany since 2006. He took a vehicle and plowed into a Christmas festival, hurting a lot of people, as well as 2 people are no longer with us. Check this out.
After a car traveling at high speed plowed into a Christmas market in Germany. A son is in custody. He is, according to authorities, a Saudi Arabian doctor in his 50s who has lived in Germany since 2006. This attack taking place in the city of Magdeburg, Germany, west of Berlin. About 300,000 people there. Their market crowded at that hour. Just about 3 hours ago, a little more than 3 hours ago now. Joining us now, our ABC News chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell. Ian, what are you hearing at this hour about this attack?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly getting more pieces of the puzzle. We're still awaiting an official press conference by German security authorities, but the Prime Minister of the state in which Magdeburg is based and the entire Minister of that state have been giving sort of impromptu press conferences nearby. We now know, tragically, that at least 2 killed, and we also now understand that one of those killed was a toddler, the other an adult, possibly the parent, but we don't know that yet. Over 60. We also understand from a US source, a security source, that German authorities are regarding this as a potential act of terrorism. We certainly know that, again, local authorities were saying that the act certainly appeared deliberate, and we can't show you the whole of the CCTV footage from the site. It's too tough to watch. We have looked at it. It certainly appears a deliberate act. It's a brutal video to watch as this car plows at high speed this packed Christmas market just 5 days beforehand. Now, we know there's been a lot of pressure about trying to tighten security measures. The National Interior Minister, speaking just a few weeks ago in Germany, had said that there was no indication that Christmas were no indication of a credible, concrete security threat. So I think there are going to be lots of questions about what measures were in place. Given that Germany has experienced an attack like this, was an attack a few years ago in Berlin that killed people by an Islamic extremist. So it has always been a concern for many, many years.
Yeah, so stuff like this, if it's common in a place like that, it would seem that there's, additional security, more police or whatever, but how could you tell? How would you know? And this guy's supposed to be a doctor. This is crazy. Guns and Magnolias. What's going on, Guns? How y'all doing? At this time, I would like to ask you guys to please like, if you do like the content, I would really appreciate it. I'm not asking for no money. Also, subscribe and put on a notification so that you know when we're coming on and when we're going to be on. Let's keep it going.
Across Europe, of course, Germany's famous for these beautiful Christmas markets, also parts of France and Belgium too. There had been a suggestion that other authorities across Europe were also concerned about a possible increased threat environment. And just one last thing, we understand that the United States is in contact with the local authorities to try and ascertain whether or not there are any US citizens at the market at the time. Terry?
Got it. Thank you for that, Ian. And if I can follow up, you having lived over there, covered that rash of attacks that seemed never ending for several years in the mid-2010s, has there been a sense that problem was manageable, managed, under control, whatever you might say, or has there been a continuing concern that affected daily life of people?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we went through that terrible period. There were attacks here in London, London Bridge, Borough Market, attacks in France, obviously terrible attacks in Spain as well, and in Germany. So we seem to have every few weeks that there's kind of space of lone wolf terrorist attacks.
So yeah, that's why I said it's really hard to determine. How would you know that something like this is going to happen? I mean, they're like trying to have guarded security, extra police, but then like still somebody can slip through the cracks just like the guy did on the West Side Highway a few years ago and created chaos. Yeah, check this out. Anybody know about Ingrid Lewis Martin? She is the former aide to New York City Mayor Eric Adams. She's been charged with bribery and conspiracy. Yesterday, we covered this story a little bit, and we went into, how the bribery happened and a little bit of info on where it occurred. But I want you to listen to her lawyer speak, and it seems like he kind of got jumbled up on his words. I don't know if I would have this gentleman as my lawyer. Check this out.
And this is why I literally begged them to allow us to go in and explain some of these text messages and emails that they're just totally misinterpreted. And the district attorney said in his press conference he was striving for justice and we needed to get to the bottom of this. Well, as human beings, don't you want to hear both sides of the story? If a defendant comes in, or potential defendant comes in and tells you facts, that doesn't mean you're dismissing the case, but it may lead you to justice. It may lead you to accurate facts.
Increase your profit and work less time.
Let them get their money, y'all.
A genius
Gotta
new
do
AI
it.
tool, which is perfect.
Got it.
But they didn't want to hear from us unless Ingrid would come in and admit to a crime. Well, what if, and we're very confident that the New Yorkers, using their common sense in this courthouse, understand the ridiculousness of these charges that, as they like to say, the highest ranking city official next to the mayor is going to take a bribe in the form of a check and put it into her checking account. Come on, folks. You've all covered cases regarding bribery. The person being bribed does not have a check made out to their name and put into their bank account, and then their son, well, it's not made out to her name, it's made out to her son, and then her son goes and buys a car, a very expensive car. Anyone who knows Ingrid Lewis White knows, first of all, she's not going to help her son buy a $120,000 car.
Okay, this is when it gets a little shaky, y'all. This is when it gets a little shaky. Check this part out. Watch this.
That's not who she is. It's preposterous. It's ridiculous. This fact scenario. Ingrid Lewis Martin did what she's done literally thousands of times since she was in the state senate office, since she was in the borough president's office, and since she was at City Hall. She helped a constituent. She helped a citizen navigate the thick red tape of city government. Eric Adams ran on the promise, I'm going to help businesses go up. I'm not going to help bring businesses down. And what she was doing here was just moving things along. And the district attorney today said, oh, she helped move something to the front of the line and treated people differently. Well, you know what? This case is being treated so differently than almost every other case in this courthouse. The Luigi Mangione indictment was released immediately. I've been asking for 4 or 5 days. What is he going to be charged with? What are the facts? What is the background? We weren't told until I walked into the courtroom, moments before I walked into the courtroom. You see a difference there? Why? Because this is a political case. This is a witch hunt type of a case. I don't know if they're trying to get Eric Adams. Ingrid Lewis-Warren has nothing bad to say about Eric Adams, so if they think this is a way to get to him, they are absolutely there. But the facts of this case make no sense to New Yorkers. They're saying that in November, called to see how something was progressing in the Department of Buildings, and then in August of 2023, her son gets a check. It's 2 checks, $50,000 each from the 2 other co-defendants, deposited in his account.
What's the two $50,000 checks about, though? I mean, what are the two $50,000 checks for? And maybe it took from that amount of time to now for them to see what happened. It's kind of called, what do they call that when they get a certain sort of a detective to go looking at certain documents? Yeah, that's what they do. So maybe it took about that amount of time for them to catch her. So let's keep it going. Now remember, he said her son got 2 checks for $50,000. Check this out.
And then he goes and buys a car. Using your God-given common sense. Does that sound like a New York City bribery scheme? Or does it sound like a bunch of people who know each other? Her son is friends with these guys need some help.
A bunch of people that know each other. These guys are friends. They need some help.
Figuring out how to get something done in the thick city of New York.
Figuring out how to get the
Thick red tape city of New York. She does what she's done for so many of us in the city of New York. Made a call to get to the bottom of something. Apparently there was work that needed to be done, and they did the work, and then it was re-inspected, and it passed. This is not the kind of case where they passed someone that didn't deserve to be passed. And then 6 months, I think November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, almost 10 months later, our son gets these checks, puts it into a bank account, and goes and buys a car. The cover up here, is anyone trying to hide anything? The district attorney says she used the Signal app. Go into that district attorney's office and find out how many assistant district attorneys, find out how many investigators, congressmen.
Yeah, but the way that she used the Signal app, she was basically use Signal so that, you know, people don't know that what we're doing and stuff like that. This guy's very good with his double talk. I would never have him as my lawyer, but he's trying. He's trying. He's trying.
FBI agents use the Signal app. If the Signal app now, having it on your phone, is probable cause that a crime has occurred, we're all in trouble. We are going to fight this case with every ounce of talent and passion in our bodies, because Ingrid knew nothing about the loans between her son and these guys. He's 38 years old. He's not like he's an 18-year-old kid and she's trying to get him a job somewhere. He's 38 years old. He had his own independent relationship with Pinky and the other gentleman.
Was it a joint bank account?
Yeah, it was a joint bank account, which makes it even more preposterous. So Ingrid is going to do a favor for a bribe, get a check made out and put it in her own bank account?
But it was a joint bank account, which is an account that means that him and his mother share. So if he puts money into that account, he can pull from it. What? And he just admitted to it. Oh my God. Oh, on the news.
Why was it was a business?
Why was $100,000, which was asked by a reporter,
arrangement between her son and them that was totally legitimate, and Ingrid knew nothing about it. Nothing. Zero. She's 38.
What was the arrangement?
That's not my client. I don't know. Ingrid doesn't know. Ingrid does not know. She found out about a lot of this stuff when people started asking questions here. All right, I've spoken enough.
Yeah, he out. He know he messed up. His boy, you should have pulled him a long time ago. Or you should have been the one talking. You probably would have talked less. Him over here, he's just there to try to get some more clients. You, you've already done your damage, buddy. Oh my geez. You would have never been my lawyer. Ever. Okay, on another note, because I had to get that out, it was in the queue. I had to get that out, so I had to make sure that you guys heard that and you saw that. I don't know if you caught it, but let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? What's going on? Bald head, bald head. That's crazy. Y'all bugging out. Yeah, man, that was crazy. But did y'all catch the things that I caught? I just want to make sure that you guys caught it, and I'm sorry I made you stay for the whole thing, but it was important because I just wanted you guys to see what these lawyers do out here to protect and to cover up for these government officials. All right, so yeah, Colleen Mall is a crash that happened late last night, early this morning, because of a car chase that ended with these This car basically went through the side of a mall in Killeen, Texas. I have a lot of family members and friends down in Texas, so it was something that I thought that you guys would be interested in. And we also like to talk about different states, different countries, and different places instead of just being in one place. So check this out.
Intentional. That was his. We don't know who this guy is. We don't know what he's going through. We don't know if there's something going on that this is an intentional act or he just out of desperation because he's being pursued. We don't know. Those things are going to come under investigation as they continue that.
And obviously the mall is probably closed right now. Any plans on when it might reopen because it is around the holiday?
The general manager for the Killeen Mall is here. They've notified all their people. Of course, unfortunately, this happened here 2 years ago, right at Christmas time. An active shooter, and it doesn't shut it down for a long period of time. Just for us to get in there and get our investigation over with. It'll be throughout the night, of course, and then more likely this side of the mall may be closed, but those answers are questions that they have to answer. But it should be fairly quick throughout the night. Get this clean as much as they can. I don't think JCPenney's going to be open tomorrow, but shortly after that they probably will. But it's basically clean safe right now.
Yeah, so Killeen, Texas, I guess it was a high-speed chase. Police chased the guy, swerved out, and yeah, wound up inside of the Killeen Mall. They're saying JCPenney might be shut down, but again, like I said, don't just want to keep information on one side. Want to share information and what's going on everywhere. You guys might live in Texas, might be in Killeen, and you might have family members out there that can't get to work today or wanted to go shopping and do some last-minute Christmas shopping for their family members. So what's important to you is important to me, and it's important to the bottom line. All right, y'all. And that was it. We are coming to the end of the show today. I wanted to thank you guys for coming through. As you all know, bro, the U.S. is wild, ain't it? Ain't it, Ad Victoria? Oh, wanted you guys to go check out the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Just go check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate that you came. If you like the content, please share and subscribe. And I would like a thumbs up if you appreciate it. I see I got 3 thumbs up. Can I get a little more than 3 thumbs up while we all here? We got 109 people here. Can I get 9 of those people? Can I get 9 of those people? Let me give myself a thumbs up. Can I do that? Yeah, come on now. Come on, give your boy a thumbs up. I worked. But y'all already know how we do. Coming to the end of the show, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So till tomorrow, same time, y'all know how we do it. See y'all later, and you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Get 'em! 1.